welcome back to Under the Table, episode 26, I think. Maybe. We're right on that.
I believe you.
One thing that we forgot to do, or I forgot to do last episode, which was 25, was to reset all your hero points to 1. So everybody should have 1 hero point.
Nice.
Resources.
I'm basically indestructible.
I gave somebody a hero point.
It was me.
Last episode. I think it was Heath.
Damn it.
And so Heath, you should have 2. You should have 2. Okay, now that that's out of the way, how's everybody doing? It's banter time.
I'm hero point rich, bitch.
I'm flush with them HPs, yo. I'm okay. How are you, Adam?
I'm good. First week of Jazz Fest. I got a real low key Jazz Fest this year. Just one gig each weekend, so pretty chill.
That's nice.
Good. You're going to be able to sleep like a
you're
human
always
and
in
everything.
No, he's not going to sleep like a human.
You say that.
He's just going to attend more parties.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
My gig tonight starts at 11, so it goes till 3.
Okay. That's what I was wondering.
Wow.
How long
I'm
it
in
was going to
bed.
last.
It always feels like you're in the first week of some kind of festival, like every week.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
Yeah.
I mean, that is just how it goes until summer, and it's the festival of hell. But yeah, so we did a big bar situation. And does anybody have any good bar stories?
Man.
Like so many that it's hard to recall.
I mean,
one?
the genre
ones I can't
itself
remember.
is susceptible to memory loss.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. And the qualifier good is like, I don't know, what is good? What is good?
Entertaining.
Entertaining? Okay.
I mean, I'll start while you guys.
Yeah, you
think.
do that.
I think I've mentioned this before, but Grace and I got married at a bar at the old Thirsty Hippo, the old Hotfoot Hippodrome, as it were. And you know, when we got married, one of the things that Grace said was like, "Okay, we're getting married. This is the day that we get married. So, you know, no playing music at the bar that day. We hired a DJ, like, you know, you, because, you know, Judd was like, well, Chance Fisher should play some songs. I mean, it's, you know, like there's no reason why we shouldn't, you know? And Grace was like, no, I'm not doing that. Well, come.
It's fun to pretend. Yeah.
Well, all my uncles, my dad has 5 brothers, so we have a pretty large extended family, and they were all there, and they're like, we came all the way from New York.
You're not going to play?
And you're not going to play? And I was like, oh, well, we don't have any of our stuff. Well, up comes Judd and Joel, like, well, we have the van full of all of our gear. We
actually planned for this, yeah.
yeah, they literally did. They had my gear too. And so they set up, you know, I didn't have to set up. That was nice. They set everything up, and we played 3 songs, and one of which was Crepes and Bananas. And in that song, there's a keyboard and drum section, that like a little breakdown where the keyboards and drums improvise. And my father-in-law is a drummer. And so he like kind of eased in during that part and played the rest of that keys and drums and then the rest of the song. And it ended up being like a really cool and special thing. Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was great.
Oh.
You see that in a movie.
And Grace was very happy to have that memory, you know. And it worked out all good. Yeah.
That's the most unique version of giving a daughter away I've ever heard.
Yeah, actually. Yeah.
Did y'all 2 fist bump at the end?
In my head canon. That's better.
It's better.
I mean, I knew Howard before I even knew Grace existed, so.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I knew Howard 7 years before he knew who I was.
Yeah, well, that's Howard. You're not one of the female
I'm in
waitresses.
there now. I'm in there
now.
Yeah.
We've been to shows together and stuff. He remembers me when he sees me.
Yeah. Did anybody think of a good
Just wanted to add
bar
that.
story?
I mean, I think they're all going to be, you know, we hit the mountaintop with your beautiful wedding story. I mean, like, I played in bands and stuff as well, and like, I mean, been to bars a whole lot, but I think for me, the special ones were, when mine and Zach's band were playing, we got to open for some bands we really respect a few times, and there were 2 or 3 times I got to get up on stage and sing with like the Revivalists. Which was really cool for me, and Moon Taxi.
Ooh, that's a fun name.
Nice,
I like that.
Nice.
And Flow Tribe like a ton of times.
I really thought you were gonna say Flavor Flav, and I was like, what?
That would have been very special. I don't know if y'all know this about me.
Story.
Look, we about to talk about Flavor Flav, all right? I love Flavor Flav, and not because of his stupid, reality show persona. Yeah. Like, from the time I was like 17, I was a humongous Public Enemy fan, which is the if you don't know, the musical group that Flavor Flav originally got famous for, him and Chuck D. I ride for fucking Public Enemy, and I got to see them once. They were on their like farewell tour, and they played Bonnaroo one year, that I think 2009. And they were one of the last night shows, and it was the coolest experience, like just getting to see them. And like, it was, post Flavor Flav, like being on all these reality shows and people just thinking he's a crazy addled crackhead. Some of that is true, but he's also
2 things can be true.
He's also a multi-instrumentalist. Like Flavor Flav played drums, and like he can play like 5 different instruments, and he does during their shows. And they were so tight and locked in. And I thought it was going to be kind of like if you go see the Rolling Stones now, it's like, oh, okay, this is cool for nostalgia, but they're not good anymore.
Yeah.
Like Public Enemy was still very locked in and had their shit together.
Yeah.
I hard disagree about the Rolling Stones, but I see your point.
I hear you, but you hurt my heart.
Like, they're not what they're still rocking it, is what you're saying?
Yeah, they still bring it. I mean, now I do believe that a good chunk of it is actually a backing band. That's
right.
Their big touring band that plays with them is doing most of the heavy lifting, but their shows still sound like the Rolling, like they're crisp and well produced. Big production. Yeah. And Jagger's still out there peacocking around.
Can't help but do. He'll do that till he dies.
Yeah, I guess I put my foot on it. I just assumed they're so old, dude. They're so old. I was like, surely the energy can't be as good.
Oh, that's why they have the backing band, so that they can put all their energy.
I assumed it was like a Guns N' Roses situation. Like Guns N' Roses went back on tour a few years ago. Guns N' Roses
is trash.
And so many people that I worked with that were like the older like managers and stuff went there. This is the greatest day of my life, and like they showed me clips, and I was like, Axl Rose sounds like dog shit. Like he hasn't been able to sing for 20 years.
I definitely agree with that. Axl Rose did not age well. But see, the thing with the Rolling Stones, that's the deal with making a deal with the devil. You know what I mean? It's like they're going to sound good till they die, and
that'll be 200 years.
Yeah, because
it's devil powers.
Devil powers. Thank you. Yes.
Right. Anyway, sorry, but I didn't mean to derail from your question. I my special bar memory was getting to sing with the Revivalists and Moon Taxi.
That's nice. Awesome. Emily, you got one?
I mean, like, I have a lot of just, I went to college. There was bars. I mean, there was just a lot. I'd say probably when Matthew and I got married, we got married on the college campus on the Mississippi University for Women. Yes, but they accept men.
The W?
The W. The W. But
the
go
double,
on.
I love there's 3 variants there, It's
W.
It's like we can meet in the middle. W. W2.
But it's a dry campus, and we were on a tight budget, and like I think our entire wedding cost like $5,000. And one of the things that we did was to have the wedding on a dry campus, so we didn't have to provide alcohol. And we had like a 2 p.m. wedding. So all of our family got to have like the afternoon tea kind of buffet shenanigans with us. And then they left. And then all of our friends went bar hopping. And that was where the fun happened. And
okay.
like, that's just a great memory I can think back of. Like, I'm still wearing my veil and I've got my little garter on top of my blue jeans. And I have like one of my bridesmaids on my back and making like Yoshi sounds as I run down the sidewalk. And
you were partying.
That was a good time. That was a good time.
And a swollen hand from the wasp sting or wherever.
Well, I couldn't feel that anymore because oh God, it was a bad
I made
choice.
a deal with the devil.
Because I made a deal with the devil, you see. That was actually Satan stinging my ring finger. It was a whole bit.
Sealed the deal.
It sealed the deal, you know. But yeah, that was a bad mistake though, because the next day we were supposed to drive to Gatlinburg. That was a rough trip, bud.
Y'all go to Dollywood for your honeymoon?
No, we just went to the mountains. We had a cabin and we went ziplining and horseback riding and just did like mountain shit. It was fun. It was a good time.
Sweet.
But we were
Did
very
you eat a lot
hungover.
of taffy?
I ate a lot of cake. We had leftover cake and we pretty much spent most of the honeymoon
You
just
took
like...
the leftover cake with you to
Fuck
Gatlinburg.
yes, I did. Fuck yes, I did. I paid
Load
for that bitch.
up.
Yep. I said, fuck me up, fam.
Wow.
It was a good time. But yeah, bars
John,
in general
what
were
about-
fun.
What about you? You got a bar story?
Not that I'm going to tell on air.
There you go. Exactly, Emily. That's exactly it.
You know,
no, I'm not. I'm fucking not, and I cannot. And this is
fucking
not going to be
not.
changed.
Of all
telling you.
the times that I've brought you out, made sure that you got out into the city, went and had a good time, you got nothing.
I'm telling you, like, I mean, as far as the times that what has gone crazy at
John
any of
doesn't
the
do
bar
crazy
times?
stuff at bars.
Okay, yeah, okay, sure. I don't. But like,
I've never seen it.
We
No,
didn't nerve
well-
with John here on the bar stories.
no. I mean, like, but the thing is that like, out of all the times that we've gone to a bar together, I mean, there's never been a wacky and crazy time. You know, it's just like, okay, yeah, we're all gonna drink
Having a
and we're
good
gonna
time.
have a good time. We're gonna go and listen to some music. That's pretty
I just
usually
asked
chill
if you had
events.
if you had a favorite
A
bar experience.
story, yeah, but
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, man.
okay. No,
Just
I
think of
don't.
all those
No.
times in the
No.
motherland.
No,
And the motherland?
no.
What about you, Dustin?
That's all classified.
I need you to understand, John. There are at least 4 listeners, I think, that are going to just go ham in the Discord and be like, "This is what I think John did. Let me tell you my
you know what?
theory."
That's fine.
That's fine. That's fine.
I'm fine with
Fanfic
that.
writes itself.
Fanfic, yeah.
Fanfic it. That's fine.
I mean, I don't really go crazy in bars either, but I do have a interesting story about an interesting bar. In like 2015, I drove down to Atlanta and went to Bacon Fest. And that was like an outdoor bar in general. There was just bacon everywhere.
The
That's
most American festival of all time.
Bacon everywhere.
That was I was like really into sours, kind of still am, but that's when like they were just coming into America, and I was like, oh, sour everywhere. And
Beer can be sour?
and they would like load your cup up with bacon, and then you were supposed to have another cup, and I was just like, no, just put it in the bacon cup. And I would just load that thing up with beer and drink the beer and then eat the bacon and then refill.
God, no.
But after that, we decided to go bar hopping in Atlanta. And the first place we went was like, I think the place was actually called like Church or the Church.
It's a bar called Meat Sweats.
In Atlanta, I feel like that'd be appropriate. Yeah.
But it looked like it was like a little church that was just refitted into a bar, and there every corner, every space was just filled with like religious memorabilia, some blasphemous, most blasphemous. Iconography, exactly.
Interesting.
Thank you. And it was just, I just sat there just looking at everything mostly, just until we like went to the next place. It was pretty great.
Did you have a moment where you were looking around, just sipping beer, and you're like, "I'm in danger. Like, I'm gonna get struck by
I'm pretty
lightning."
sure they had like a big like mannequin that was dressed as a nun, just like hanging on the ceiling.
No.
And not like hanging.
Yeah,
like like
creepy
parachute kind of
yeah.
hanging, and like a lot of like elves on a shelf in like random different places. Just like, oh, like they're sitting on a beam, like up in the rafters, like a little elf on a shelf. Like,
Oh, that's kind of terrifying.
Yeah, that's scary. Initially, I was going to say that reminds me of something else, but now it doesn't. But
Now it doesn't.
Initially, it reminded me of when we went to Origins. Once we had been there a day or so, we're all adults, and I like to, anytime I go on a trip, I like to just like run off somewhere, right? So I went with the Hideous Laughter people. And they took me to this German pub that the owners, the inside looked very much kind of like a church. But the owners were a D&D group that they had these gigantic stained glass windows of all their characters. Ooh. It was really neat.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
Man, I'm going to have to run off with the Hideous Laughter crew more often. Sounds like found a fun little spot.
We did the last night. We went bowling with them. That was fun.
We did.
That whole Origins trip was just a bar.
That was a wild bar story.
Yeah.
I got nuts bowling, dude.
Well, we've reached our banter limit, so we'll have to save that for the next time we go to a bar.
We at the 50-minute mark?
Are we at 50 minutes already? So last time, as evidenced by today's banter, you spent all episode in a bar collecting some rumors, and you have a couple leads. You have the Longhorn Lounge, you have Rika's Reagents, and you have the Hotfoot Hippodrome as potential leads to the Powder Keg Punks, and you're trying to figure out who hired them, because Dunsmith, Phoebe doesn't think that it was Mugland, because Mugland hired the cleaners. So you have some time. We're in downtime mode here. I would like to remind you guys that you guys did level up to level 3. We haven't really touched on that too much. And there's probably some shopping that wants to get done, or a whole assortment of downtime activities. So with that, I'm just going to kind of turn it over to you guys, and you can tell me what you want to do. You've had your bar night. You went to sleep. Asaze may or may not have had relations with Blair. And it's the next morning.
Next morning, fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to start it off.
Okay.
All right, go for it.
I'm just imagining we're all kind of like in our shared area, away from other people.
Not me.
The crew area. Not you? Okay. You're still...
You're sleeping in late with Blair?
All right. Well, Jules and George are sitting down about to eat breakfast, but Emir comes around the corner from his alchemist lab that's kind of set up in probably like a little broom closet. I don't know. But
there's a workstation
there's
here.
A full...
Okay.
Yeah.
And remember that it has bonuses on it from what you found at the
That's right.
brewery.
But he turns around and he has a big butcher block board filled with cured meats and cheeses and nuts and jams and fresh fruit, And he comes in and he sits it on the table and he's just like, after the night we had, I think we need a little bit of fat and meat and protein. So let's dig in.
Bacon and sours.
Exactly.
So
put some Southside sours in front of your hair of the dog.
I just need you to understand how much I love this, because Dustin is basically just a mirror right now. Every time I've been to Dustin's house, he's like, here's a charcuterie table.
Yeah, let me feed you some meats.
That's right.
Yeah. Stuff yourselves on meats.
Jules pauses for just a second, and I imagine she's just looking at her coffee, that was kind of what she was just going to consume, and just that was going to be it. And then sees this spread, and her eyes kind of light up for a second. She's like, "You good people, Amia. You good people." And she immediately just shoving stuff. Oh my god, this is so good. Is it salami? Oh my god.
It's soppressata.
Oh.
Black pepper.
The
Try
fuck
some of
is
this.
that?
I know you like it spicy. So, how do you feel? Any noticeable changes, perhaps?
Oh, me?
Is this a poison charcuterie?
Oh, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. This is just something I cooked up. It's a little bit food, a lot of it food, as you can tell, but a little bit of something extra.
I mean,
And what?
Jules pauses for a second and kind of like
Is it
feels
drugs?
like, am I gonna die? Like,
Oh God, I hope not. I figured you have a higher constitution. I mean, you are a higher.
it's just cocks
Genasi?
an eyebrow. Like, what's in here? What is this?
I mean, what have you done to me?
So, I mean, I
Starting
guess
to
we're.
panic now.
Yeah.
You're hooked to heroin.
I didn't know you like to get wet, Jules.
Oh, man, did somebody get addicted to crack?
The first taste is free. So what this is, since we're talking about our level ups and everything, I saw this and I was like, I don't care what it does, but I'm getting it. Because I guess I'm me, just like Emily said. This is called a diplomat's charcuterie. And whoever eats it, so I'm just going to read it out. It's a common sight at political gatherings. A diplomat's charcuterie has fine meats, cheeses, nuts, fruits, and other finger foods mixed with reagents to engender friendly feelings between those consuming them. Contents of the plate vary by chef and the intended palates, from the hearty sausages and hard cheese of charcuterie, from the lands of the Lenorn kings to the hot pepper cheese curds and smoked almonds of Thuvian platters. After activating the charcuterie by eating it, you gain a +1 item bonus to diplomacy checks to make an impression and perception checks to sense motive. These bonuses last 24 hours, or until you make your next daily preparations, whichever
You're like the
comes
fucking
first.
George R.R. Martin of playing Pathfinder.
I love it. Oh,
So
Guess
there
who
it is.
doesn't get the benefits of this?
Nope. I don't. And I committed.
Unless he comes down and gets some.
better fucking hurry up.
No, he's staying up there and getting some.
Okay. Yeah. So I think at this point, unless I'm interrupting anything. Okay. Yeah. So Asase, I feel like is definitely going to be coming down the stairs, but he's definitely just kind of like that. Do 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 do. You know. So obviously got a little bit of pep in his step, and he's definitely just kind of like, can I get 2 coffees, please? You know, just going over to the bar. It's like, how is everybody doing? He's just kind of like, scratching and stretching a little bit.
Forgot to put on his pants.
Yeah. Oh, is that a coffee propane?
No. He's got his pants on and whatnot. He's not. Come on. But like, yeah, he's definitely like feeling like, like, how did everyone else sleep this last night?
Did you guys notice my getting laid?
And my 2 coffees.
Act like you've been there before. Jesus.
I got some plural coffees here, man.
Right. He's fucking 19, man. Come
Right.
on.
Yeah.
Right, no, it's perfect.
Yeah. Before you go back up, grab yourself a plate.
Oh, I'm famished.
Grab
Spent so
2
much
plates.
energy last night.
Oh. Jules is just like trying to like silently cackle into her coffee because like it's just hilarious.
Just a big burst of 2-minute energy, huh?
Twice.
Blow yourself out.
Twice. And so, I mean, after all of that, I feel like, that he would be sitting down with the group after the whole, like, the coffee thing. And obviously Blair has, I'm assuming, fucked off, you know? Because this is
Why would you assume that?
Because it was evidently a very one-night kind of deal. It
Was it?
felt
it?
like a one-night
I think y'all
thing.
should have a little
She
RP with
seems
Blair.
real.
No, you
we're not doing that.
gotta force her to get out of here. She's
not doing
clung
that.
on.
You go back upstairs and she's wearing
No.
your sweatshirt.
She's like waiting on you to bring the coffee that you came down to get.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, your
okay.
two
Why did you get two coffees?
We can make this structure awkward if we want to. I can
Yeah,
say,
that's
well,
good.
okay, I'll be back. I've got my I'm bringing coffee back upstairs. You know?
Well, yeah, you
Separate
grab,
from
you
the
grab
group.
you a little plate of cheese and fruit.
Yeah,
and then you head back
Okay. Yeah,
upstairs.
hey, that was a
That's
nice
fine.
touch. Yeah, meats and cheeses on a little platter. So, yeah, just in case, we'll share a plate. You know, just bring the two cups of coffee. I don't know how he's doing.
Allow
that
me
with
to
two
feed you
hands.
grapes. My
Fresh
goddess.
from the vine. God, so stupid, y'all.
It's like the Key and Peele, the continental breakfast.
Time to. Oh my God, that's just so good. Oh my God.
Meatballs from the fjords of Sweden.
Yes. I couldn't think of a good one. Yeah.
Oh God. Oh.
Amazing.
Jesus
Killed me.
Christ.
Okay. Yeah. So, how do you
Go
want to
ahead.
do this? How do you want to do this?
I don't want
I don't
to do
want-
it.
Hey, I was trying to give you an out, man.
I
No,
mean,
I'm just saying, like, that can all just happen.
it just
you know,
happened.
like-
Cut to black.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, Dustin, that's an item. That's not really a level up thing, right?
Yes, but it was a part of my level up. It's one of the formulas I chose.
Oh, so you can do this daily.
So
I
we
can do it
better
every
have
single day.
charcuterie on lock all the time.
That's right. We're going to be perceptions for sense motive, diplomacy checks to make an
all
impression.
my dreams are coming
We're
true.
gonna have so many nitrates.
Yes.
So, Dustin, I'm not going to hold your feet to the fire to this, but I would like just flavor as you go forward that you are actively collecting ingredients as we go through our adventure to replenish your charcuterie.
Definitely. Every time I see a deal on a nice cured meat, I snag it, you know.
It's important to snag those meats.
Where was this imported? Oh my, I have not tried that
Just ask
before.
Blair.
I will take it. Oh, Blair.
Okay, so you guys have your breakfast. Very cool. I think that's actually a good formula to get. That's very helpful.
I mean,
for
I
the group.
love it because it helps. I mean, that bonus to make an impression is great.
Yeah.
Does anybody else got any shopping that they wanted to go out and do? Because Jules is like, this was great. Like this was fabulous. I think I'm gonna go stretch my legs real quick. I got a couple things I need to pick up. Are you done at the station? Because I had some stuff I wanted to knock out, alchemy styles.
Oh, yes. Go ahead. I'm not planning on starting any ongoing projects anytime soon.
Okay. So Jules would go and do a little bit of shopping, and would come back and work on her daily alchemy stuff.
Yeah, I mean, George would go with you. He's got just one thing he wants to get on
Yeah.
your little shopping trip.
Yeah.
If you're getting a few things, I like the dynamic of the brother sister. Like, you got to make like 4 stops, and he's just waiting to get to the store he needs to go to.
Mostly it's just like the gun, like weaponry kind of stores where she said weaponry. You know about the weapons.
I need to go to one gun store, and then an ammunition store, then another gun store.
Well, and then the gun pot store. You know, it's
There's just
around
no
the corner.
departments. There's no department store around here.
And I need to check the pawn shop in case they've got a deal on a gun.
Just in case, you know.
Or
always
bullets.
keep your head on a swivel. While we're walking around, like in the like maybe not super crowded areas, or maybe like looking, you know, Jules would kind of like cut eyes over at George a few times and then finally just say, all right, what's the fucking deal? You know about these punks. Like there's too many things that have connected you to them. We're in the middle of this shit. Do you know something that we need to know?
Can you be more specific? What punks are you talking about? Osaze?
And she just like
And he's
gives
being
you
coy,
the,
you know?
the deadest
Slaps the
eyes.
shit out of him.
At that, she picks up a silencer in the store that we're perusing.
Screws it under a gun and shoots you in the face.
And slides her coin to the owner and just kind of gives you a look. But yes, she does buy a silencer. But she's, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Powder keg punks.
Yeah, I mean, I think you'd wait until we're not in front of a shopkeep to answer
and, like,
the question.
all of this is like whispered, like angry whispered, you know. We can talk about it back at the place, but Jesus Christ, you got to be honest with us. Like, I don't know what you know. You got to tell us. We're all in this shit together now.
Yeah, well, why don't we'll go get all the supplies that we need to get, and when we get back, I'll talk to all of you about it.
She nods her head.
If you want me to be honest, like, if we're in this together, let's be in it together.
She goes to turn, like, she kind of nods her head, and she goes to turn, and then she stops and looks back at you. George, I know we haven't been the closest. I know you're not a huge fan of Alkenstar in general. But you are my brother. And I wanna look out for you. Because you look out for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's just like,
Right.
you see kind of emotions coming up.
It's awkward for both of them,
Yeah. Anyways, we'll talk about it with the rest of the group. And she kind of readjusts her hat and, like, heads out of the store.
Yeah, I mean, George kind of looks a little maybe abashed, you know, but follows her, and we're gonna go do the rest of our shopping, and then we'll have a conversation when we get back.
I will just say, while we're shopping, can't word today, get a couple other things. The one big thing that I spend some money on are the Blazons of Shared Power. Basically, it's a 3-piece kind of set. One piece attaches to, like, my chest, another to my gun, and then the last to my kukri. And what it essentially does is, when you invest the Blazons, you wear one of the 3. You choose one as a primary weapon, and the other is secondary. These weapons... as long as you're wielding both primary and secondary, the secondary weapon gains the benefit of the fundamental runes on the primary. So essentially, as we go now, all I have to do is upgrade my gun, and the kukri will continue to have whatever that fundamental rune is. So
That's so dope.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So pretty jazzed about that. And that's pretty much most of my shopping.
So George, like, once you get done with all your gun stuff, George's like, I need to stop by the wand shop, and so they find some sort of, you know, magical wand peddler or whatever.
Can I please request that his name is Juan? Juan's Wand Shop.
Juan's Wands.
Juan's Wands.
Yes.
Wand shop.
Yeah, we go to Juan's Wand Shop, and you know, like, I don't know. We're kind of just theater of the mind for all the shopping stuff. I like to think it's a shop you walk into, you know, kind of an Ollivander's situation, but probably less messy. But there are, like, wands kind of all over the place. And even though I've already sold these on my sheet and stuff, he had collected, like, 2 different wands that he was then disappointed he couldn't use, you know, because of his magical tradition. And so, you know, kind of like a pawn shop, like, comes up and he's haggling, selling the 2 wands, and wants to find one that he can use because he had gotten his hopes up so much, and now he's like, no, I want a wand. And also, he's nervous about, he's a little insecure about, like, he's filling the role of a healer, a combat healer, but he's not really that, you know, like, he's much more a buffer. So I'm gonna buy a wand of soothe so that I can have an extra cast of my heal spell, every day, just because we've already been in so many situations where somebody gets knocked out and it's like, okay, I've burned my 3 spells. Now we've leveled up now, which is good. So I have a higher level cast of Soothe, but having that 1 extra Soothe in your, hip holster it could make all the difference. And he's very much. Go ahead.
I appreciate you saying someone gets knocked down and not specifically saying Jules. I appreciate you being
What's
sensitive.
me a lot of the time,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think he's been a little insecure about being a healer because that's not particularly what he's built for, but he can
especially
do it,
with Amir, who just like outside of combat can just like, oh, you're fine now.
When he's not really worried about outside of combat, it's specifically like somebody's got to do that work in the middle, in the shit, in the thick of it, because that's where he's kind of nervous based on our experience thus far. The party's a little bit squishy in general, and we don't have a dedicated combat healer, so he's got to do the best that he can and step up that side of his game. And so, finds a nice. I like to think a Wand of Soothe is very calming, maybe like light blue, with some filigree and stuff in it. It's a glow stick. I don't want it to be a glow stick.
Light blue glow stick.
I don't want it to be that attention drawing.
It's like, please no.
But yeah, so so he gets the Wand of Soothe, and then it's like, all right, well, we can get out of here, and you can tell like that cheers him up a little bit, like he's happy to have an extra way to help the party. And just to be able to use a wand, like that's almost like a childlike thing, like it's like a toy he never got to have as a kid, and it's like, heck yeah,
adorable.
Can't wait to sling this thing around. I mean, the bad thing is I won't really have a reason to sling it around unless we're in dire straits, but if we get there, I got a backup plan.
Be happy to have it.
You may not know this about me. I'm a guy who likes to have a backup plan.
Jules rolls her eyes a little bit, like playfully. It's like, yeah. Anything else? Or are we heading back?
That's all I'm getting. I'm just buying a wand.
All right.
Is anybody else doing any shopping during the day?
Yes. I guess, they left, and kind of like in parallel, Oz and I are just standing there and be like, so, do you have any shopping that you need to do? Do you need someone to watch your back?
Yes, actually, I do. I'm glad that we have some time now. So, I do need to go by the armorer, and
I do need to go by the doctor to get checked.
I don't think he would even be thinking about that. But that's actually like for real. Like that's yes, he needs to be fucking doing that. Yeah, but like yeah, I need to go to the armorer, and I need to update my weaponry.
Well, let's do it together. We're better together than apart. And he puts on his hat of disguise, and he's like, "Oh, it's your choice today. Who do you want me to be?"
I was not prepared for this. Shit. I don't know. Who were you last time? Whenever you were in the,
I was George Strait, lighting director or something. I was just a blue collar worker.
Yeah.
Just a normal, forgettable dude.
Oh god.
Okay. All right. Oh, fuck.
Flavor Flav's lighting director.
Hey, there you go. Yeah. I'll take the easy win there. There you go. How's that?
All right.
Yeah.
So he puts on the hat and does his thing, and he looks exactly like the person from yesterday. I switched jobs.
Yeah. So
I do lighting direction for multiple eyes.
I was only prepared for my own disguise. And Oz's disguise is again the nerd from The Simpsons. What's it called? The comic book nerd.
Oh.
And yeah. So obviously we're gonna go to where are we going first? We going to the weaponry? Or we going to alchemy or what? You want to take the lead or me?
Let's. I'm assuming I need to study Alkenstar, but is there like a district for shopping? Kind of like the promenade, where there's the Target and the Walmart and the.
I mean,
Applebee's.
there's many of those, right? Because like it's a big city, you know.
Okay.
So like, sure, there's like high-end shopping in Skyside, and then there's like bargain shopping in Smokeside, you know.
Okay. And I'll just say, I only have a few places I would like to visit. I don't have much I want to buy or stock up on. Maybe hit up the see if they have any more cured meats or cheeses. But you lead, and I will. You take the first step.
The armor is only 5 minutes walk from here, so let's go over there.
All right. And how's the day in Alkenstar, Adam?
It's good, although, there's these little things that get passed around in Alkenstar. They are called, hold on just a second, whisper sheets. And what they do is they're basically like weather reports, but for the mana storms. And there's two types of times. There's bronze time or surge time, and bronze time is a more stable time when mana storms are less likely, and surge time they're obviously more likely. And mana storms are atmospheric magical disturbances that cause all magic to act wildly, which is a big reason why Alkenstar has gravitated more towards steam and mechanical development over magical development.
Because it's risky.
Yeah, it's really risky.
It basically, for short periods of times, makes all magic wild magic.
Yeah. And so today is a nice day, but you can see far, far, far on the horizon, maybe brewing in the very edges of the mana waste, what looks to be a mana storm. And you know by the whisper sheets that tomorrow a mana storm will hit.
Okay.
And this is kind of normal in Alkenstar, and so like you have a pretty good heads up of when this is going to come. And so you just don't use magic that day, and you can certainly plan all of your stuff around that, right?
All right. Looks like a good day, but gonna have some stormy weather tomorrow. So let's get this done.
Okay. So yeah, just going into the store. Basically, what I am looking to buy, just to get through this really fairly quickly. Oz is going to be replacing his Felissa with a Wakizashi. Because this is a new Oz. This is a brand new Oz now. After last night's events, so he's gonna get a little dangerous. He's gonna get that Wakizashi. Also gonna get the a light mace. All of these have the agile and finesse traits, right? So these are all fantastic for him. Okay. Also, as well as a star knife, something just to have some range, just in case, because that's what he's been sorely lacking in the event that it needs to be ranged. He's also going to be swapping the weapon rune from the Felissa to the Wakizashi. And I fucking hate that it's a Wakizashi, because now it just makes me really think, especially with the comic book nerd part, it's just like, give me your finest blades, please.
Nothing personnel, kid.
Do you have any Hattori
It's like just going to the mall ninja, mall ninja.
Now Oz is going to be the guy that wears like kimonos and like
Yes.
it has like a katana hung up
He
over
does
his.
have a ponytail, right? Oz
Yes,
canonically has a ponytail.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Excuse me, shopkeep. You've got your katana upside down. It's not displayed correctly.
God, dude.
Ooh, baby, look at this tang.
I love it.
It's great. But yeah. So in all seriousness, though,
just don't start playing him like a mall ninja, dude.
You're right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm trying to steer clear from that. So yeah, that's his purchases from the shop. actually for the day. So, okay, so I'm done. Is there anything that you want from here, or did you need anything? You can go wherever you want to go.
I think, Amir sees you buy the weapon and just kind of comments on it. Like, wow, nice blade. Go ahead.
Just real quick, just to add on to, like, this is all, I mean, like, all the weaponry is a bit, like, clockworky, you know? Just to add that little flavor to it, you know?
Oh, I'm sorry, guy. We're out of clockwork weapons. This looks exactly like maul blades.
Oh, okay, it's just exactly, oh, god damn it, I'm trapped.
It's got like carved dragons on the hilt and cheap ruby gemstones for the eyes.
I'm sorry, but this is improperly balanced for a battle weapon.
What is it when the metal looks like rainbow effect? Whatever that is. Like
whatever chromatic shit or
yes,
whatever. Yeah,
yes.
Okay.
Hey, well, look, I will say, if it makes you feel better, Osaze already has a leg up on all the mall ninjas in the world. He just got laid. Okay?
He did.
Fair
Also,
enough.
you might have two dicks, so you're like, just,
I mean,
It's a possibility. We'll leave it out in the ether.
yeah.
It's like Schrodinger's dick.
It'll say in the ether, in fact.
Schrodinger's second penis.
It exists and doesn't at the same time.
It's got dual activation modes. Like you can choose to have one penis active or two.
Jeez, we might as well just have it like have RGB
face
lighting on it at this
hardcore.
point.
It does
Fuck,
now.
dude.
It does now. Thank you. Sorry. Please go
We're
on.
about to get some really inappropriate art soon.
I think I would hit up some of like the strip mall area of like just general store, leatherworking, gadgets and gizmos, and not get a lot of things. But you see him get what looks like a tiny little harness that has a belt that can strap around and like your chest or your side, and it is a familiar satchel. So
A pookie holster.
I got a
Pookie papoose.
Exactly. Instead of the whole papoose style, they had a couple different styles. I chose the more like closed pocketed, kind of like it kind of opens with a little latch and it's like hard.
That's hilarious.
And it's like a little pocket, that Pookie can go into and close it himself. And
I think you should
protect
adorable.
him.
This is fucking
I think you should
adorable.
keep it a cloth pouch so that if you ever like run into a wall or somebody charges you, he squeezes out of the edges of it.
Just cartoon splat.
Yeah.
Yeah, like where the leather kind of like meets, it just it comes out a little bit. Yes. So I buy a familiar satchel, a healing potion off the shelf, and then I buy what looks to be just a bunch of tubing and like copper tubing and leather buckles, and it's just like this weird contraption.
He's gonna get into distilling his own beers now.
Yep.
He started the charcuterie thing. He's gonna start making IPAs.
Well, we brought
that's-
those beer things, right? The big.
Well, this is like a small. It's like a little compact little contraption. And then I say, it's about lunchtime. You want to get some lunch?
Let's do it.
All right, and we go to the Alkenstar Arby's. And
Alton Starbies.
yeah, give me some beef sliders. Alkenstar Arby's. And get some
I hate Arby's.
Alkenstar Arby's.
Thank you, Dustin.
You're welcome.
Oh wow! Look, they have the meats.
They slice it so thin. We sit.
Speaking of that reminds me of a concern that I briefly had a couple of times. So this Alkenstar is surrounded by the mana wastes, and it makes me have very hardcore the Gunslinger Dark Tower vibes, and it's like, how are their cattle? Like, are they all like
Extra gamey,
screwed
baby.
up, non-threaded, like
Mutated
double-headed muty cattle.
We just don't talk about it.
We just don't talk about it. It's fine.
Yeah, we just don't. Everybody just like this
mostly-
meat's perfectly fine.
It's like
I'm
the
sure.
cattle
Well,
and
but
beef
it's-
industry in America. We just
Well,
don't.
but it's magic instead of like radiation.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like they're well, I guess either one could cause growing
Yeah.
multiple limbs and heads or whatever. But it's like they're like you'll have a 2-headed cow, but the other head is a fox. You know.
It's got pre-seasoned meat.
That's a mouthful of awesome.
They're
right
just
there.
magically
Yeah.
delicious, is all it is.
Exactly.
Was that all to get to that?
So
No,
you
that
guys
was
are,
pure inspiration.
so you guys are at the Alchem Starbies.
Yep. And
Okay.
this might not be the best place, but Emir's gonna just kind of get like a somber look in between his bites of roast beef sandwich and curly fries. And Arby's hit us up.
Alkenstar dip.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Arby's hit us up. Yeah.
It's got the spice. And I'm just gonna put my hands on the table, kind of put the roast beef sandwich down, and be like, okay, Oz. So Pookie and I have been talking, and I felt like now is a good time to kind of get something off my chest. Just let me say this. First, I would like to apologize. When we went on our little scouting mission, and you kind of lost your cool a bit, while scouting out your home, I do regret some of my actions during and after our little confrontation. You lost basically everything you've ever known, and were thrown into a group of outlaws without the needed time to process, feel anything. I was just consumed by my own wants, my own desires, and I just neglected to see your pain. I really just did. I said some insensitive things, and I put you on blast with the crew. And for that, I am sorry. I'm sorry. You're a man. You're barely a man grown, barely, but you are a man.
Just became a man last night.
Just became a man. And you've been through so much, so fast. Your emotions at the time and your need to get revenge, it took your body over for a moment, and I completely get that. And then at that time, he kind of like reaches under his shirt and he like pulls out this locket that he has. I would like to share something with you and kind of continue the conversation we had at your house. And then he opens it up, and then he hands it to you and puts it on the table where you can see the pictures. We are connected in our loss. This is Layla, and this is my little girl, Miri. They were taken from me.
Wow.
I have felt the denial, the loss, the need for justice and revenge. It's an unquenchable desire. It takes away a lot from you. That desire to take away everything from the people that took everything from you. We've been throwing ourselves into danger nonstop, and it's been ridiculous. But please just take some time to process what has happened to you and how you feel. Scream, cry, curse the gods, if you must. But I just want you to know that if you want to talk, I'm right here, okay? I have your back. And I know you have mine. And then that little contraption that he bought, it's just kind of wrapped up in the paper bag, and he's like, I bought you something. And I saw your new weapon, and I figured it need a little bit of sprucing up. This is a weapon siphon that I'm giving you, and I will install it for you if you want to install it on your weapon. But It will allow you to use some of the energies of the bombs that I create in your strikes, and will give you a leg up in battle. I've seen you in battle, and you are more than capable. This will just give you a little bit more of an edge. So, let's finish up lunch. No need to say anything.
If you don't give him a hero point, I'm gonna be so mad at him.
Look, I've got it pulled up right now. Just letting him get it out, you know. I'm going to give John an opportunity to respond first before.
Okay. Yeah. So like, his name is just completely like full of Arby's in his mouth at the time. That was just like this whole
bit of
like
cheese dripping out the side of the corner of his mouth, like, what?
where it just like just
In air
drops
quotes,
this whole
cheese.
like, and it's just like, yeah, just okay. Let me just chew. Okay, all right. And that's okay. So that's a lot to unpack.
I know.
Because he's taken a step back from this and just out of character a little bit. Oz was kind of in this situation where he was mad for so long about what was going on, to the point that it almost just like his brain just tricked him into like, hey, here's some good stuff to help you forget about the bad, for a minute, and then the mention of bringing it back kind of like helps bring him out of his reverie, of the day. And I'm not saying that you ruined his day by any means, but it does help brings that perspective of what we're doing here, because I feel Oz actually had forgotten about that, at least for this morning,
It's like a katana to the heart.
Exactly. So for him, he just kind of there's that with that tonal shift, it kind of just reassesses you for a second. Mir, I didn't know that you had a family, because he's not thinking about other people, right? He's fucking 19, so I didn't realize that were they killed by the shield marshals too?
Let's not talk about that. Now's not the time to get into that. But no, just say no. This happened long time ago in another land far away.
Okay.
It's been many years since it took place, and I know the twists and turns of grief and how it can affect you. And hindsight is 20/20, so I just want. No one was there for me. I just want you to know that I am here for you. You don't have to say anything if you do not want to. Just know that I got your back. Do or die, brother.
And he takes a look at the gift, this weapon. What is it called?
It's called a weapon siphon. It's an adjustment.
Siphon. Okay, yeah.
So I'll just read it. How about that?
Okay, yeah.
All right. The weapon siphon. This set of tubing snakes down the striking surface of a weapon to deliver alchemical explosives. A single lesser alchemical bomb can be fitted to the weapon siphon as an interact action. The bomb must be one that deals energy damage, such as an acid flask or an alchemist fire. The next 3 attacks made with the weapon deal 1d4 damage of the bomb's damage type, in addition to the weapon's normal damage. If the second and third attacks are all made within 1 minute of the first attack, the bomb's energy... Well, if it isn't made within 1 minute of the first attack, the bomb's energy is wasted. These attacks never deal splash damage and other special effects, and aren't modified by any abilities that add or modify a bomb's effect. So... And then it has a negative to it. But considering, I feel like Amir has put all of the combat he's seen from you, like what you're trained as, and thinking that this would be perfect and not kind of gimp you. But adding a weapon siphon to a weapon throws off its balance, causing the multiple attack penalty with the weapon to be 1 greater than usual. So usually a -6 on a second attack and an 11 on a third, so it would be -5 and -10 with an agile weapon. So you're agile, you have flurry, and so it'd just be like 1 point down.
Well, no, Saze already has a lower map than anybody else, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So this raising it 1 point to kind of add more
that's what
damage
he's
is like...
saying. He's
right.
observed his fighting style.
So yeah, he's looking at this contraption and he can't make heads or tails of it. And so I trust you to know how to apply this, because I don't have the expertise on doing this myself, but I trust you with my new weapon, and this I very much appreciate it with the gratitude that in which it was given. And I'm kind of relieved to know that there is someone else in this group who's experienced the loss that I have. It's very sobering having to, well, to know that there's someone else who's seen, and it's kind of amazing because you don't seem to show this loss, and I'm still trying to process it, so it will take some time.
Of course, it will take time. A lot longer than I have had to deal with it as well. I'm still dealing with it every day. You know, I hid myself in other personalities, basically. Going from town to town, trying to forget for the longest time. But right now, probably the memory of your mother hurts. It's like a dagger to your heart, but ever so slowly, you will look back and you will start to smile at those memories again.
And with that, it's almost a sharp response back. And it's like, I prefer not to bring her up right now. And it's just kind of it is a dagger to the stomach right now to be thinking about that, you know, especially with the last things that he said to her, you know, and the things that he cannot take back. And so for that, I feel like it's kind of left like while he is grateful, he's also feeling like this is now, it's not that this is awkward, but he feels like he doesn't quite know how to respond at this moment about it.
Well, it's like one of those things when somebody who is more emotionally mature than you reads you, gets you totally right, and
you're caught off
you
guard.
appreciate it, but you don't, you can't just like change what you're feeling, you know? And so like, basically at the end of the day, you're just like, all you can say is, okay, I feel seen, thank you, I don't know what else, because you're now like reeling back into your kind of grief after having this moment of escape. And so it all just kind of, you know, in the turmoil of a 19-year-old's mind too.
I'm like, now you know why I chose the booth in the back.
right. 'Cause I feel like inside he might be crying a little bit about, you know.
So, there's probably maybe even a little bit on the outside too. Dustin, I do want to give you a hero point here for that.
Nice.
Go ahead and roll me a D10, please.
I love Papa Amir. It makes me so feelings.
6.
6. All right. This one comes from Bard Tales. What's up, Bard Tales?
What up?
Let me get this to where I can read it. All right. A bardic inspiration. Dustin, you are such an awesome addition to the team, and I have enjoyed you and your character throughout this AP thus far. Alchemist is one of my favorite class concepts in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, and learning the class through Amir is a joy. By the way, please keep us in the loop with your future chest hair shaving adventures.
Oh, I will. I will. It gives me like the impetus to actually do it again. Smiley face, big smiley face. Smiley face to that inspiration. Thank you, Bartels.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That was great. I think that's as good a place as any to kind of end that scene. Let me ask: everybody's done their shopping at this point, and before we get into George talking to the group, is there anything that you guys want to express regarding your level ups?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, as the one real magic user of the party, I got rank 2 spells. So that's awesome. And I mentioned earlier, I took Soothe at the highest level I can take it, because that's going to be essential. I was very...
Didn't you make that your signature spell?
I sure did.
Nice.
All right, so like you actually don't have to take that at higher levels because it's your signature spell. You can, or am I getting that backwards? You have to keep taking it at high level, but you can downcast it.
I believe that's the case, because when we were doing this, I have 2 rank 2 spells, and one of them is Soothe. But the other one I was very excited about, because I've played other classes that have this spell, and I didn't realize it was even on the Bard's spell list, and I got Spiritual Weapon. And I love that spell. I can summon a weapon that deals force damage, that basically gives us some more action economy, gives us another ally on our side that I can spend an action each turn to move it somewhere and attack.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yep. Very, very excited about that.
I'll just say Jules took toughness for her level 3 feat. Basically, increase your maximum hit points by your level. You reduce the DC of recovery checks by 1. Because it's been rough out here for you, girl.
Yeah, it has.
Mostly by her own doing, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah.
You're still pulling splinters out of your face.
Speaking of feats, I hate to go backwards back to me, but I did some finagling with feats. I got a general feat, and I took Ancestral Paragon,
crazy,
which lets me take a skill feat, I think. And then I took Natural Ambition, which lets me convert that into a class feat. So I went the long way around to turn my general feat into a skill feat into a class feat so that I could have reach spell. So now, what made me really want to do that is when we had the combat and the guy almost got away, and I had to run up and fire off a projectile. And if I had missed, the guy would have gotten away, right? So now I have the ability, anytime I'm using spells, I can use one of my actions to increase its range. So touch spells would go to 30 feet, 30-foot spells would go to 60 feet.
Perfect.
That's cool.
Love it.
So it's a cool way to just be able to manipulate my range and make myself more flexible. And one of the things I like a lot about it is it means I have to spend less time moving my physical body around. Because look, my body is other than the fact that it's super hot, is the least valuable part of my character, Yeah.
All right. Dustin? Or go ahead, John.
Okay, yeah. So bumped up my stealth to expert. And for feat, I went with toughness as my skill feat for this level. Just because, hey, I'm up front. It's just a choice to make, And that's my level up.
I think Amir, during the course of this downtime, or whenever he's got a moment, he's opening up that book that he has of non-magical healing, and he, through deep study, he raised his crafting to expert, and he chose assurance as his feat.
Nice.
So now every time, now I don't even have to roll. for treat wounds. I
the
can just
fifth-
yep. I
For
can
the
just,
DC 15 one, right?
yeah. Yep.
If you wanted to do the extra with the DC 20, you'd still have to roll, right?
No, actually, I mean it's even with if I'm rolling a 10, I have a 10 in crafting, so it's 20.
Oh, so
You'll
you're
hit
good
a
to go.
20 either
Perfect.
way.
Either way,
So,
I'll
yeah.
get a 20.
So that means like basically healing up in between combats is hand wave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
that also affects your battle medicine,
Yeah, it does.
right?
Everything.
So your battle medicines can always be the level the 21.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's really
So
big.
I've reached
that's
a
really big.
proficiency in non-magical healing. I'm no longer fumbling around and learning and relearning. I have an assurance in my skills.
I love it.
Yeah, that's golden.
Is there anything else at that level? I don't think
Yeah,
so.
a level 3 is mostly just skill feats for most
Yep.
for most of the classes, which is good. I mean, it's
Needed it.
yeah, and just getting those extra hit points and everything, all that helps. Okay, everybody's talked about their level ups. Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so everybody has a day's shopping. Meets back at the Bullet and Barrel, and you know, Heath, you had mentioned George wanted to just get it all out to the group at once rather than.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. Is the Bullet and Barrel crowded? Like, I mean, it is a
You
bar.
always
We'd be
have
in our
you-
room.
You have a
Okay.
you have a conference room that's
Well, that's what I was going to
yours.
make sure is that we're
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
the more private
Yeah.
area. Yeah, grab another charcuterie board. We're going to be here for a minute.
I got 2.
Nice. I mean, not for the benefit. I'm just joking. But yeah. So he kind of gets all you guys to come in and have a seat around the table. You know, we probably got a few beers ready. He definitely has like a couple just to get himself through this conversation. You know, He says, "All right, me and Jules were, you know, doing our shopping, and she was very curious about what is obviously a connection between me and the Powder Keg Punks that I think most of you, if not all of you, have noticed something there. And that's because there is. Where to start? We'll just go straight to the source. For all intents and purposes, for the last few months prior to everything going to shit for all of us, as far as the Powder Keg Punks, I was the man behind the curtain. I wasn't running them, not as a face, but I was doing the books. I was finding their jobs. I was in good with their leader, Glaz. And if I'm honest, I feel responsible and I feel a weird guilty pride in that gang wouldn't have the hold it does now in this city if it wasn't for me. And I don't mean to be braggadocious about that. I was the brains behind that operation. The Powder Keg Punks, when I ran into them, were a bunch of wild arsonists, right? And Glaz is a unique case. But in my time there, I became vital to their operation. And I never expected this, but I actually came to have some kind of camaraderie, friendship, respect for Glaz that I never thought I would. Look, when I first got in with this crew, it was fully self-serving. I wanted more control over my life. I wanted to be somebody in Alkenstar. The city grinds people into dust, and I was tired of that, and I didn't want to be that dust. So I got in with some people that I normally wouldn't have, and I rose quick through their ranks because I've got a good head on my shoulders, and I understand crime in Alkenstar, and I understand how to set up a job. And so they became what they are, in large part because of me. And it seems like we're on a collision course with the Powder Keg Punks. So I felt like it was important for you to understand that I've got some history there, And now we've come to learn that apparently Glass, who I, before all this went down, considered, I don't know, bordering on being a friend, maybe, put a hit out on me. So I don't know what Glass's mentality is right now. I don't know what's going on, but they've got it out for me. I don't know. I just wanted to tell you.
Jules is like sit back in her chair, like all the way, and has had like her hand up, covering her mouth, kind of just being very quiet. And she kind of continues to stare and just sort of nods at you. And all this time, I thought I was the bad twin. She just kind of smirks a little. That's fucked up. And then she just sits back, and that's like the last thing she says.
I mean, we all have baggage, right?
Well, it gets worse.
Oh, shit.
So, through my position with the Powder Keg Punks, this is how I came to cross the path of Mr. Mugland. I, being kind of the go-getter, the setup man for the Powder Keg Punks, I went and had a meeting with Mugland. The Powder Keg Punks trying to increase their operation, trying to get more hold on whatever parts of the city they can. Glaz really wanted to secure a contract doing a job for Mugland. So Glaz sent me to meet with Mugland. And we played a card game. We played some Alkenstar Hero. And that man terrifies me. Because I won and secured the contract. This is how crazy Mugland is. He made me play him for the rights to the contract. And I won. So I thought it was all good. But I cheated.
You cheated against Mugland?
I did. I had to win. I had to get that contract. And that's where I made a mistake. Because Mugland did not take kindly to that and killed a very close friend of mine and left a calling card. Quite literally. The card that I used to cheat against him.
Oh, shit, man.
He stabbed a dagger through that card into my friend's chest and left him under a bridge. And he shouldn't even have known who my friend was. Shouldn't even know that's my private life.
All that bad shit you just said that you did, completely overshadowed by what you just told us Mugland did. In my mind, fuck that guy, man.
Look, Mugland is a killer.
Yes.
And if Mugland can, he will kill us. So I just want you to know, I know we're on the run. You know, we've been dealing with that, and I worry that we've gotten a little too comfortable and used to that idea that we're on the run. There's a certain level of danger that we expect to be in. That level of danger is much higher, and the stakes are much higher than I think we act like some of the time.
And you just see, like, Emir just, like, nodding, you know? Like, sometimes he can appear aloof and everything, but this is like a reality check. Like, yeah, the stakes are high. And he's just, like, leans back and in his chair and just was like, just nodding.
And my concern right now in this moment is that I feel it's going to be unavoidable that we're going to have some dealings, whether peaceful or combative, with the Powder Keg Punks. And I don't know their standing. I don't know if they're working for Mugland. I don't know if he took over the Powder Keg Punks. I don't know because I'm out of the loop because Muglin framed me for the murder and then Glass put out a hit on me. So it all went to shit. All at once.
This hit is still active. Yes.
It would appear so.
So you're the reason the punks are in this.
I mean, a reason.
Jules sits back and she just keeps staring at you, George. Like, everything that she knows about her brother says that he would not do a gang. Like, she just can't fathom that. Like, that's not who he is.
Yeah. One is like, he was kind of the white collar part of the gang. You know, the behind the scenes. He wasn't getting his hands dirty.
But still, just the fact
But was
that you were
very much
attached
in
to
a gang.
it.
Yeah. Well, and was in many ways leading a gang.
Yeah.
You know?
She just keeps shaking her head. Like I don't know how to articulate how flummoxed she is about this whole situation. And she, after a minute, she says, "Who was your friend?"
Doesn't matter. He's dead now. He's not coming back.
All right. Well, one problem at a time.
The Undine from Jamare, who played at the Hotfoot Hippodrome, was the money man behind the Powder Keg Punks. There's a lot to unwrap with that.
Well, that was, once I got in with the punks, that's my day job. That's my cover. I'm just a bard. Gets hired to play shows.
No, I never would have expected.
And we'll see you.
Man.